This is the COBALT KINETICS BAMF or billet aluminium modern firearm. Now this is an American masterpiece, so really I should say aluminium how the American cousins do it. So this is the COBALT KINETICS BAMF or billet aluminum modern firearm. And today I am proud to unbox an identical airsoft version. Well, almost identical. Today's video is sponsored by SwitAirsoft.com. Auto drop advanced magazine, G2 internals, MOSFET, electronic trigger, and a programmable fire selector switch. Oh my gosh, this is advanced. And I mean, advanced. Wow. Right, first things first, the accessories. You get an unjamming and cleaning rod, a speed loader, a very cool and realistic looking mag, and then of course, the beauty itself. Now of all the times that I have said the following words, oh my gosh, no, not those words, these words, would ya look at that? This is gorgeous and it looks just like the real thing. Now this is the race gun of the COBALT KINETICS, okay? It's pretty much 99% full metal. Now before I go any further, I want to tell you about this auto drop advanced magazine. Just like its real counterpart, when that bad boy runs out of rounds, the mag will automatically drop from the mag well. Now if you're thinking, what on earth is that for? Well, again, it's a race gun, a competition rifle, and it's all about speed. Speed, mag, reloading. So those precious few seconds that you save by not having to hit a mag release when you're using this in competition settings, you'll begin to appreciate the Auto Drop Advanced magazine. Now, let's say you just want to use this for normal pew-pewing during gameplay. Do you really want this bad boy dropping out and hitting the floor? Well, guess what? You have the option of switching off that function. And I'll show it to you right now, because if I don't do it right now, this bad boy, without any BBs, will not stay in this rifle. Ha! So cool. Just like the real thing. So, to disable all of that, on the top there you can see that little switch. What you need to do is close this trapdoor thingy down, bring that little switch forward. Can you see there? It's now in the forward position and that stays like that. You can then push your magazine follower down like that. Doesn't matter if it's sticking up like that, because once you get a speed loader on there, the BBs will push that down. Now, once every single BB has been fed, your mag will not fall out. However, disabling this switch like that, as soon as your magazine follower pops up, I'll just try and replicate it now without it being in the gun. Watch carefully. You see that? That trapdoor ejection thingy, I'll get the correct name sooner or later by the end of the video, will push the mag out of the rifle. Nice. Okay, so let me take you around the beautiful design and features of this rifle, and then we're going to test it out. So as always, starting at the rear, would you look at that beautifully designed stock? Everything here is all metal, not a drop of plastic or polymer in sight. And look at that gorgeous buffer tube. Loving that metallic blue. Oh. And that whole skeletonized look of this stock. Now, those of you who are into your competition shooting in airsoft or in the real world, you know, the race guns, race rifles, this will all be very familiar to you. Absolutely gorgeous. And then if you look at the back, you'll see there where you would need to take that bolt or screw out so that you can gain access to the battery compartment, and we'll do that a little later. But please continue to take in the beauty of this piece. So as we look at the top there, you've got your competition style charging handle, and above that you've got your fully adjustable flip up rear sight. Naturally, windage and elevation, and you have your G&G branding on the sight. And if you haven't already seen it on screen, this is of course the officially licensed model, so that's another good reason why it's an exact replica. So as we continue, as we're around that part of this beautiful rifle, you've got a short but substantial amount of top rail. I mean, that's all you would need. Just get yourself a nice red dot sight or scope on there and you're good to go. So as we bring it on down to here, this is so cool. It's at a 45-degree angle. So again, everything about race rifles or pistols is about speed. So none of this sort of like safe, then you got to point it up or down for semi-auto and then the complete opposite way for full auto. No. Everything is within that 45-degree area right there. So right now it's on safe. Right there it's on fire. Right there it's on full auto. But coming back to this fire selector switch, it doesn't stop there. You can have this in safe, semi-auto or full auto, or get this, because it's got an ETU, electronic trigger unit, you can program this bad boy so it does a 3-round burst instead of a full auto, or a 5-round burst instead of a full auto. How cool is that? So as we move along, you've got your beautiful gold trigger, and I would suspect or expect that to be a very short trigger pull for competition purposes. As we move forward, you have your bolt release. Now, in a way, it's sort of a mock bolt release, but it actually does release a mock bolt. So in a funny sort of way, it's real. Let me demonstrate. So you grab hold of your charging handle, pull it back. That will keep your mock bolt open, and as I'm here, I might as well show you, that is where you adjust your hop up. And now, of course, if you want to close that mock bolt, you just push on that paddle right there. Nice. And then we come to this full metal grip. How often have you seen that on a rifle? The whole blooming thing is metal. Ha! Obviously, apart from the mag. And you remember I said it was pretty much, forget the mag for a second, pretty much 99% metal, maybe 98. The only thing that isn't metal on this bad boy, again, forget about the mag, is your dust cover. So yeah, take in that gorgeous grip. And a lovely branding on the base from G&G. And there you can see where you would gain access to your motor. Loving the angle on that trigger guard right there. And then you've got this massive magwell. Would you look at the size of that? Again, everything is geared towards speed. So you can imagine how easy and how quickly you can slam a mag up in this bad boy without even looking at it, because the mouth of the mag well is huge. And then of course we come back to that very tactical looking mag. This is a 90 round mag, and loving that big old logo on the side. And then as we move along, you've got this epic looking handguard with some of it being M-lock, the rest just being a nice design. And as you can see, you've got that floating outer barrel in there. And don't get me started on the business end. Would you look at that compensator? Now to some, this is the ugliest looking compensator you've ever seen, but to me, it's gorgeous. You know, there's nothing standard about this rifle, and I wouldn't expect anything less when it comes to the compensator. I mean, this bad boy looks like it's seen some action already. Look at the front. And then beneath that compensator, you've got a cheeky little lower rail where you can throw a light or a laser, or maybe even a little camera, whatever. And then on the top, you have a matching rail, which carries your front sight, which is of course, fully adjustable. And naturally, flip up. Now, before I take you around the other side, let me show you all the trades and point out that you have two QD sling points. One there and one there. Technically there's four, and I'll show you the other side in a moment. Let's just make sure it does accommodate one. Nice. Okay. Feast your eyes on all the official trades and markings. And there's your serial number. So as you can see, I have brought you around to the other side. So there's the other side of that gorgeous stock and buffer tube. Loving that design. And by the way, in the real world, and I'm hoping this will transfer into the airsoft world, you can have a different color scheme. But I so much prefer this color scheme right here. Very modern looking. So we're on this side. As you can see, your fire selector switch is ambidextrous. And then you've got your competition style mag release. Look at the size of that bad boy. There's no issues right there finding this without looking at it to drop that mag. And then of course you have your dust cover, and you can also see more of the adjustments for your rear sight. Nice and large, very user friendly. And there you have more of that floating barrel. And then that epic comp. Right, let's get a battery pack in here. Just drop the mag. Now naturally you don't have to drop the mag, but safety first. Always ensure your airsoft weapons are on safe and your mag is out whenever you're doing any form of maintenance or swapping batteries or whatever. So, as I mentioned before, just get yourself an Allen key, undo this. And then this entire section comes right off. And then right here is your battery compartment. Now, if you've got a LiPo that's short enough that you can just shove in there like that as it is and connect it, then it's all good. However, what you really need to do is unscrew this section right here, feed your battery of choice down the tube, but naturally not too far because you've got to make your connections first, and then Bob's your uncle. Get the cap back on, slip your full metal stock back into place. Oh, and by the way, I tried this battery pack first. It's just too fat. So if you've got a battery pack like this, which is perfectly square, even though it's like a candy stick configuration, it's going to be a little bit too big and too much of a tight squeeze. And then you pop your screw back in and tighten it up. Now here, let me show you. I've got a fully charged battery pack in there. Take it off safe, put it on fire, and nothing should happen. Why? There's no rounds in there. There's no mag in there. So I'm going to pull the trigger. Nothing. And that's exactly how it should be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm not going to fill this mag. I'm just going to put just a handful of BBs in there because I want to show you this magazine dropping out after the last round has been spent, just like its real counterpart. But at the moment it won't do it because it's been disabled. So let me enable that feature. Okay, I've got my iPro on. Just want to show you again, that little switch has been thrown to the rear, so it's now got that auto drop feature enabled. And what you do is you just push that down and we're ready to go. Oh, I'm getting excited. Please work. Anyway, so the mag should now stay in. Let's take it off safe. Now, keep an eye on that mag once the last round has been spent. Now, I've only got a handful of BBs in there. Here we go. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5. I think there may be 1 or 2 more BBs left. Watch that mag. Oh, I actually put more BBs in here than I thought. Ha! It's got to drop sooner or later. Ha ha! Absolutely love it. And again, the whole purpose of that is as soon as the mag is out, it will drop. You don't need to bother to press the mag release. You get your next mag and slam it back in immediately so you can start firing again. Lovely. Now I know what you're thinking. Surely these are gonna break, especially if you're outdoors and they're hitting concrete and all sorts. Well, they're tough old mags, but yeah, after a while, they're gonna start to get a bit damaged. But I will say this again, you don't have to have that feature. You can disable that and do it the old-fashioned way where you press the mag release and grab the mag out. Okay, I've got the mag full and I just want to show you something up close and personal. You know how my channel is. I like to show you things really close. And by the way, if you see little things flying around, that's little bits of fluff, okay? Because I've got strong studio lights. It's not bugs. Right, so focus. Thank you. You see that little switch that you need to pull back or throw forward if you want to enable or disable the auto drop? You can appreciate how that works. Can you see that switch right there? It's actually holding on to that little spring-loaded door right there. So that means it has been disabled. Right, now to set this up so it does a 3-round burst, what you need to do is to have it on semi-auto, hold that trigger back for 10 seconds and you will hear a bleep when it's ready to do a 3-round burst. Now of course when you're doing this process, make sure there are no BBs in the rifle or the mag. There it is, did you hear that beep? So now, if I want this rifle to do 3-round bursts, I just put it onto auto. Now watch. Ho ho! Let me just show you that I'm not taking my finger off the trigger to replicate a 3-round burst. Watch, I'll hold the trigger down. Woohoo! That's your 3-round burst. Now, as I mentioned before, this rifle is capable of doing a 5-round burst. Now, to enable that, you need to rock that fire switch back and forth from fire to auto 5 times. Three, 343.8, 341.6, 342.3, 343.8, 338.8, 341.6, 340.2, one more, 342.3. That is perfect and ready for gameplay. Now, over the years of me doing reviews and chronos, I've got tons of airsoft weapons. I can now listen to a gun and work out roughly what the rounds per seconds are. Now, trust me when I say this, I have not done this through this chrono on full auto yet, but I'm gonna guess it's not very high. It will probably be around 11 or 12 rounds per second. Got that wrong. 14 rounds per second, almost 15 rounds per second. Better than I thought. Nice. Right, let's see what she does to this target. So I'm going to send about 12 rounds down range. 4 there, 4 there, and 4 there. And I tell you what, I'll dump the mag there.
Perfect, 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 perfect.
So there you go, people. This is the G&G COBALT KINETICS. One of the most beautiful looking ARs in Airsoft I have seen in a very long time. So what are my first impressions? Well, if you haven't already picked it up during this video, I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. Now I know it won't be to everyone's taste in terms of how it looks, but come on. I love it when things come out looking a bit different to the norm and has those special little features. I love that it has that advanced drop magazine system, the ETU, the MOSFET, loving all of that, loving the color tone that this rifle is giving off too. When you put this next to the real one, oh my gosh, it's hard to tell the difference between the two. If I had to be a little fussy and wish things were slightly different, that buffer tube just a smidgen bit bigger and it would be perfect. It's just too small to fit every type of stick type battery down that buffer tube or candy bar type battery pack. Runs perfectly well on an 11.1 volt. I'm happy with this. Loving the whole drop mag system on there, loving that you can disable that too, because I can see that will be an issue if you keep letting that mag drop on the floor, especially outside. If I was to change something else, I'd love for that to have been a flat trigger. But other than that, people, I love this piece. Do you love it? Well, get yourself down in the video description before it sells out, because it's not available everywhere just yet, okay? And you'll see a direct link. Thanks again to the wonderful people over there at switairsoft.com for hooking your boy up with what is going to be now, in terms of looks and its features, my favorite Airsoft AR. I'm Airsoft Mike. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time on the Airsoft Mike YouTube channel. Oh, and by the way, I'll also be uploading to my Mike's Tech and Toys and Movie Memorabilia YouTube channel tomorrow. Link is also in the video description. How cool is that? And to close the helmet, you just present the ring back to that same area. Oh my gosh, how cool is this? And it opens. Thanks for watching, thanks for your support, and I'll catch you next time.